Welcome to Daily Overdose.
Let's suppose that you were able every night to dream any dream you wanted to dream. And that you could, for example, have the power within one night to dream 75 years of time. And you would naturally, as you began on this adventure of dreams, you would fulfill all your wishes. You would have every kind of pleasure you could conceive. And after several nights of 75 years of total pleasure each, you would say, well, that was pretty great. But now let's have a surprise. Let's have a dream which isn't under control. Well, something is going to happen to me that I don't know what it's going to be. And you would dig that and come out of that and say, wow, that was a close shave, wasn't it? And then you would get more and more adventurous, and you would make further and further out gambles as to what you would dream. And finally, you would dream where you are now. You would dream the dream of living the life that you are actually living today.
I got an opportunity to make a dream become a reality. When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. You have to give it everything you got. No more TV, no more parties, no more playing. If you don't have a 4.0, what you need to be doing is studying. Get off the phone. Sorry, I'm not available until the end of this year. No, I'm for real. You reached the right number, but you called me at the wrong time. Call me back January 1st. I'm about to get busy now. Stop being this high school dropout. Stop giving up. Stop sleeping on the street. Stop walking up and down Finkel Avenue like you ain't got nothing, and get your GED. Stop being afraid to take a test.
The nature of love is self-abandonment, not clinging to oneself. Throwing yourself out, as in, for example, in basketball, you're always getting rid of the ball. You say to the other fellow, have a ball. See? And that keeps things moving. That's the nature of life.
I gotta commit my very being to this thing. I gotta breathe it, I gotta eat it, I gotta sleep it. And until you get there, you'll never be successful in life. But once you get there, I guarantee you, the world is yours. So work hard and you can have whatever it is you want. And when I went to college, guys were way smarter than me. 4.0s, 3.0s. They went to the Ivy League high schools, came to Oakwood from these great high schools. Most of them are not doing what I'm doing. Why? Because it's not about where you come from. It's about hearts. You come to a place where, being smart ain't enough. You got to have hearts. Don't go to sleep until you succeed.
There are a lot of people that are sitting around waiting for something to happen. Now, what you going to do about it?
We're getting out of college and we haven't the faintest idea what we want to do. So I always ask the question, what would you like to do if money were no object? How would you really enjoy spending your life? Well, it's so amazing. As a result of our kind of educational system, crowds of students say, well, we'd like to be painters, we'd like to be poets, we'd like to be writers, but as everybody knows, you can't earn any money that way. Or another person says, well, I'd like to live an out-of-doors life and ride horses. I said, do you want to teach in a riding school? Let's go through with it. What do you want to do? When we finally got down to something which the individual says he really wants to do, I will say to him, you do that. And forget the money. Because if you say that getting the money is the most important thing, you will spend your life completely wasting your time. You'll be doing things you don't like doing in order to go on living, that is, to go on doing things you don't like doing, which is stupid. Better to have a short life that is full of what you like doing than a long life spent in a miserable way. And after all, if you do really like what you're doing, it doesn't matter what it is. You can eventually you could eventually become a master of it. It's the only way to become a master of something, to be really with it. And then you'll be able to get a good fee for whatever it is. So don't worry too much. Somebody's interested in everything. And anything you can be interested in, you'll find others who are. But it's absolutely stupid to spend your time doing things you don't like in order to go on spending things you don't like and doing things you don't like.
Wake up from your dream and make your dream a reality. Wake up. Wake up and understand the significance of the purpose that you have within yourself. Understand that if it's something that you are truly ultimately seeking in your life, then you got to go after it. There are a lot of people that are sitting around waiting for something to happen. Now, what you gonna do about it? How are you gonna go about doing the things that are necessary to get you where you need to be in your life? Everybody has a dream, but how much are you applying to that dream? How far are you pushing that dream? When are you gonna realize that the dream is not gonna work by itself? You got to have the ability to rise up and push yourself and believe in yourself and make that dream a reality.
What's your why? If I don't give y'all nothing else, you better start that. What's your why? You know why I do what I do and I do it so passionate? Because my grandfather was a high school dropout. My father was a high school dropout. I was a high school dropout, and we about to break the cycle. I do what I do so my son won't have to go through what I went through. When I was at the football game, my old dude wasn't with me. I saw other kids with their father. I said, that'll never happen to me. I do what I do because my daughter says she's going to Harvard. It ain't even about y'all. I'm about to come in here and blaze y'all. Why? Because I'm trying to get you all the NFL. I ain't about to miss this opportunity. This is the first NFL team I've ever done in my life, and I'm about to lick it. I'm about to give everything I got, and I will know if I don't get another gig, it won't have nothing to do with the fact that I didn't put everything on the field. What's your why? Why do you wake up in the morning? Why do you put on that jersey? Why do you go out and practice? Why? I gotta commit my very being to this thing. I gotta breathe it. I gotta eat it. I gotta sleep it. And until you get there, you'll never be successful in life. But once you get there, I guarantee you, the world is yours. So work hard and you can have whatever it is you want.
Nothing really comes to you from outside of you. Everything comes to you from within your own consciousness. Everything comes to you from within your own inner feeling about yourself. Not according to what others think and feel about you, but your experiences come to you. Your cursing or your blessing, your good or your evil comes to you out of your own inner consciousness.
Think about us as the product of 3.5 billion years of evolution. I mean, we have struggled over all those billions of years to be alive and to match ourselves with reality. And so, because one of the things I've often wondered is, life is definitely difficult. There's no doubt about that. And it's unfair and there's inequality and all of those things. And people are subject to all sorts of terrible things. But I also wonder, if you weren't actively striving to make things worse, just how much better could they be?
I have never seen anybody who did extraordinary feats that didn't have extraordinary issues. It is the passion that gives you the power you need, but it is the pain from which you have the conviction about it. If you had not been through some pains, you would not have the burning to do what you do.
Everything that happens, use it for your upliftment, learning, and growth. In the midst of it, ask, what can I learn from this? What can I get from this? How did I end up here? There's something for you in everything that happens to you for you to learn from that experience. Look at it, examine it, analyze it, dissect it, take it apart until it reveals itself to you. And then get what you need from that and move on. But everything that happens to you,
it's the decision to face possible failure. It's the decision to get up once you failed. And it's the decision of what to learn when you fail. Do you learn that you're not good enough? Do you learn that you never should have tried? Or do you learn a lesson from the failure and get up and brush yourself off and remember that at the end of the day, You're going to go as far as you're willing to fight for, and that's it. And if you're willing to fight to go all the way, then you will go that far. You will set a new bar. You will define for people what is possible.
One of the things that you want to avoid is one of the erroneous zones I call procrastination, which is simply hoping and wishing and filling yourself with maybes and being bored and all of these kinds of things. If you sit around and hope and wish and say maybe over and over and over again in your life, then you are simply going to be a person who is using up the present moment to fill it with wishes rather than with action. Procrastination is nothing more than a typical way to keep yourself from taking action in your life. And I have found, we just moved into a new home not too long ago, and we had about 200 boxes that had to be broken up in the garage. And I looked at those boxes, and I knew that nobody else was going to break them up. But Daddy, this is Daddy's job. And every day I'd go in and I'd look at all of those boxes, and I'd say, no, I really don't want to deal with that today, and I'd let that go. And then came the time when I, just a few days ago, when I went out there and I said, I'm just going to break up 5. I'll just do 5. And then if I do 5 every day for the next 3 weeks, I'll have them all broken up, and then I'll call them and they'll come and pick them up. Well, that's the key to eliminating procrastination, because as soon as I did 5, I said, well, I can do 5 more. And I came in about an hour and a half later and I had the entire job done. I found that to be true with virtually everything in my life. If I can put it off and put it off and put it off, but just do one sentence and you got your letter written. You know, just sit down, and instead of telling yourself, I've got to write this long, long letter to my mother that I haven't written in a long time, you don't do that. You say, I think I'll just write 1 paragraph to her today. And then all of a sudden, the whole thing is done. Just one little action, one little step, and you have the whole thing corrected. In Hamlet, there's a line that says, refrain tonight, and that shall lend a kind of easiness to the next abstinence, and the next more easy. For use almost can change the stamp of nature. That's so beautiful. For use almost can change the stamp of nature. You can change your very nature by just refraining, by just doing something in the moment. So whatever it is right now, as soon as this tape is over, and it'll be over in just a few minutes, as soon as it's over, whatever it is that you've been procrastinating about or thinking about doing but haven't gotten around to do it, just do an opening on it. Just start it. And you'll find that that simple little act is what gets you going. And it's always, and where does that come from? It doesn't come from acting. It comes from thinking. Thinking makes it so. So rid your life of hoping and wishing and saying maybe and all of those kinds of things. And instead, move beyond that and say, anything I can visualize in my mind, if I can get it there and hold it there, I can act upon it. So I will act upon it in the now, in the working unit of your life, now, today, this moment.